Hi, name is Jackson, as the school bell rang, signaling the beginning of the long-awaited holidays. My friends and I were eager to embark on a thrilling adventure. Little did we know that our school holiday trip would turn into a horror story that would haunt our memories forever. The plan was simple, exciting. A road trip to the mysterious town of Downhill Road, rumored to be home to eerie legends and paranormal activities. My friends, Hudson, Winona, and David, and I packed our bags with snacks, camera gear, and an abundance of excitement, ready to make this holiday one for the books. The road to Downhill Road was lined with dense forests, casting ominous shadows that seemed to whisper secrets of the unknown. As we entered the town, a sense of foreboding settled over us like a heavy fog. Old Jonathan houses loomed on either side of the narrow streets, their windows boarded up as if hiding dark secrets. Our first destination was the infamous Downhill Road Manor, a decaying mansion that stood at the edge of town. Legends spoke of a tragic family that had met an untimely demise within its walls, and locals claimed the place was haunted. Undeterred by the stories, we decided to spend the night there, armed with courage and an unhealthy dose of curiosity. As the night fell, the manor transformed into a sinister silhouette against the moonlit sky. Creaking doors and howling winds created an eerie symphony. Armed with flashlights, we cautiously explored the dusty hallways, each step echoing in the silence. The air inside felt thick with unseen presences, and our nerves were on edge. We stumbled upon an old portrait gallery where the eyes of long-gone residents seemed to follow our every move. It was then that we heard the faint sound of a child's laughter, distant yet unmistakable. Determined to unravel the mysteries, we followed the sound to a hidden staircase leading to the mansion's darkened basement. The laughter grew louder, intertwining with unsettling whispers that seemed to echo from the depths below. As we descended, the temperature dropped, and an unnatural chill settled in the air. In the dim light of our flashlights, we discovered a forgotten playroom, adorned with dusty toys and abandoned playthings frozen in time. The laughter now seemed to emanate from an antique dollhouse in the corner, its miniature rooms reflecting an eerie parallel to the mansion itself. As we approached the dollhouse, its tiny furniture began to move on its own, creating a surreal spectacle that defied all logic. The room's atmosphere became charged with an otherworldly energy, and the child's laughter transformed into unsettling giggles that echoed in our minds. Terrified yet mesmerized, we decided to capture the supernatural events on camera. But as we aimed our lenses at the dollhouse, the laughter ceased abruptly, plunging the room into an unsettling silence. Suddenly, the temperature plummeted, and a cold breeze whispered chilling words in an unknown language. The atmosphere shifted, and the once inanimate dolls in the dollhouse now stood eerily still, their eyes gleaming with an otherworldly light. Panic set in as we realized we were no longer alone. Shadows danced on the walls, taking on sinister forms that seemed to be reaching out for us. In a desperate attempt to escape, we sprinted back through the labyrinthine hallways of the manor, the oppressive darkness closing in on us. Unseen forces tugged at our clothes, and the air became thick with a suffocating presence. As we burst out into the moonlit night, the manor seemed to exhale a collective sigh of relief, the supernatural energy fading away. We stumbled out of Downhill Road, haunted by the horrors we had witnessed in the old mansion. Our school holiday trip had taken an unexpected turn, leaving us with a tale that would be passed down through generations. The haunting memories of Downhill Road would forever be etched in our minds, a testament to the thin veil that separates the living from the unknown. It was the summer of 2023 when my family embarked on what we thought would be a picturesque holiday trip to the mountains. Little did we know that our seemingly idyllic adventure would transform into a harrowing tale, etched forever in the annals of our family history. The decision to explore the remote hills and mountains was prompted by a desire for a break from the monotony of city life. My parents, my younger brother, and I eagerly packed our bags, loaded the car, and set out on a journey that promised stunning vistas and serene landscapes. As we ascended the winding mountain roads, the air grew cooler, and the dense greenery of the hills enveloped us in a comforting embrace. The anticipation of reaching our secluded cabin heightened as we left civilization behind, entering a realm of nature's untouched beauty. Our cabin, nestled deep in the heart of the hills, greeted us with a rustic charm. The scent of pine and the distant murmur of a babbling brook hinted at the tranquility that awaited us. However, as the sun dipped below the horizon and shadows danced across the mountainside, a chill settled in the air that had nothing to do with the dropping temperature. On our first night, after a hearty family dinner, we gathered around the fireplace to share stories and laughter. The crackling flames cast flickering shadows on the log walls, creating an ambience that seemed straight out of a classic horror tale. Unbeknownst to us, the mountains held secrets that would soon unravel with the setting of the sun. The next morning, we set out to explore the hills and trails that surrounded our cabin. The landscape was breathtaking, with wildflowers in full bloom and a crystal-clear lake reflecting the towering peaks. Our family reveled in the joy of adventure, unaware that the mountains were keeping a watchful eye on our every move. As the day wore on, we stumbled upon an ancient graveyard hidden among the trees. Weathered tombstones stood silently, their inscriptions faded with time. Sense of unease washed over us, but we dismissed it as mere superstition. Little did we know that the spirits of the mountains were awakening, disturbed by our presence in their sacred realm. That night, a thick mist descended upon the hills, shrouding our cabin in an otherworldly haze. Whispers echoed through the darkness, faint and indistinct, but undeniably present. The temperature plummeted, and an ominous stillness settled over the landscape. Sleep eluded us as the whispers grew more insistent. My brother claimed to hear his name spoken softly on the wind, and my parents exchanged uneasy glances. The cabin seemed to quake and groan under the weight of the mysterious forces surrounding us. In the dead of night, the shadows took on a life of their own, morphing into ghostly figures that flitted in and out of our peripheral vision. Terrified, we huddled together in the center of the cabin, seeking solace in each other's trembling presence. As the hours passed, the whispers transformed into haunting wails that reverberated through the mountains. Our attempts to escape were met with an invisible force, pushing us back into the heart of our haunted refuge. It became apparent that the mountains themselves were alive with a malevolent energy, injured by our unwitting intrusion. Dawn finally broke, but the mist lingered, reluctant to release its grip on the hills. The paranormal activity ceased as abruptly as it had begun, leaving our family in a state of shock and disbelief. We hastily packed our belongings, fleeing the once charming cabin that had become a nightmarish trap. The descent down the mountain was swift, and as we reached the foothills, the mist dissipated, revealing the sun-drenched landscape that had initially lured us into its clutches. We dared not look back, fearing what spectral entities might linger in the shadows of the retreating fog. Our family holiday had taken an unexpected turn into the realm of the supernatural. The mountains, once a symbol of serenity, had unleashed their dark secrets upon us. The whispers in the mist would forever haunt our memories, a chilling reminder of the spectral forces that dwell in the heart of nature's beauty. And so our idyllic family holiday became an autobiography of fear etched in the collective memory of our shared nightmares.